I think we get to kick this one off.
Oh,
man, here we go. Welcome aboard the Funny Boat Podcast. I am your host, Captain Boomies. With me, that fluffy face over there, that fella right there. This is the broker with the beard, Ed Pickering. How are you doing, Cap?
I'm doing fantastic, Captain Boomies. Pleasure to have you aboard this beautiful Island Packet 37.
Yeah, I know. You said you're a boat broker, and I didn't really believe you until just now.
Yeah. Surprise. Fake it till you make it, right?
Well, because you've told me about the boats you actually own.
Mm-hmm.
And I know plenty of boat scroats that own boats like that. But this is actually a very nice boat.
Yeah. We're on our valuation tour of this boat.
So what is that like? Because, I mean, I've never bought or sold a boat.
Oh, okay. Well, what I do things probably a lot different than many other people. But of course, you can go online. You can get all sorts of information about the make and model and year of the boat. But until you're on the boat, you don't know how it's been maintained. You don't know what kind of smells you have on the boat.
This one smells nice, by the way.
Yeah, so I
especially like whoever the owner is has a very nice bar.
Yes, he's done a great job. But yeah, so I like to get, when I do evaluation, I don't go just off of what the book says and what the pictures show. I like to get on the boat, feel the boat, and actually, honestly, quite get a smell for the boat, because that's like one of the biggest curb appeal things when you're looking, as soon as you open that hatch, if you smell the head, it usually doesn't go well. So this boat has been fantastic. It's a 97, which is a bit older.
Year. I liked that year.
Yeah, 97 was a very good year. This, and it has quick observation, has a couple really cool things. It's staysail rigged, and it has a pro-furl main, which means all the fancy boats now have in-mast furling, like the boat next to us. And then other boats have just your traditional main, like the other boat next to us, with a stack pack. And this kind of is a mold of the two. It's the original mast, but...
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And here's why I'm going to interrupt you.
I'm getting too technical.
Because I'm not entirely sure who our audience is at this point.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how much you all know about sailing and sailboats and masts and rig types and all this nonsense. But he's basically talking about the big floppy canvas part that makes sailboats go has a couple of different ways that you can deploy them.
Ooh, good. That's a good word.
Ooh. Some of them are more work than others, and some of them are safer than others. It's kind of it's a choose your own adventure when it comes to boat buying, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Everybody's got very hard opinions, but I feel like there's a lot of things in boating where people have very hard opinions about what type of equipment they use or they want or they think they want, and I always try to relay the fact that boating in general is a compromise. Everything you think you want, you may not need, but you will want later, or you want now but you don't need it at all. It's so funny. It is all a compromise. It's 100% a compromise. Like even the captain jobs that I take now, they don't come as often as I would like, but they are the exact jobs that I want to do.
Right.
It's a brand new boat. It's absolutely gorgeous. I look so good on it, and my Instagram pictures can attest to that. And then I only have to drive it for maybe half a day, which is kind of nice. And then I put it away, and it's somebody else's problem, and I don't have to be responsible as soon as I hit the dock, which I just love.
Yeah.
Like that's, oh man, being a captain, a real captain, I don't consider myself a real captain anymore because I'm not responsible for a boat for longer than I have to run it. It is so much harder. It's so hard to be a live aboard. It's so hard to be a serious cruiser, it's so hard to be an actual yacht crew captain, somebody who has to show up and make sure everything's working. If something's not working on a boat when I show up, I have a clause in my contract that gets me out of it. It's real nice.
Yeah, it's a lot different than being the landlord of the boat, per se, right?
Yeah. But it does mean that I've had to diversify in how I make my money. Yeah. And yet I couldn't be happier. I really get the best of all things boating and none of that hard slog of days and nights on watch.
See, yeah, I did that in the merchant fleet through the academy, and 6 months at sea and a couple times, and I kind of want that back a little bit. The not the commercial side of things, but the live aboard cruiser. I totally want. Andy from the Ocean Cruiser podcast is kind of
quite a name drop there, Cap. Well, quite a name drop.
He's kind of got me thinking that thing. The wifey says no. So yeah.
Stand your ground.
Nobody's accused me of being smart. So. But no, I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I kind of want that me against the elements type of thing.
Well, I think you need some more. I think we all need a little more adventure in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of the point of boats in the first place, especially personal, private boats. This boat could go on some pretty tasty little adventures around the bay. It's kind of right in that sweet spot of beam and length that you'll always have a marina that you can go into. You're not going to get stuck.
And she's nice and heavy. I mean, she's got a full keel, nice heavy boat. The 37 and the 38 or the 380 from Island Packet is like they always rank high on the cruisers' wish list. You're not going to get there fast, but you're going to get there safe and comfortable, and that's why Island Packet does so well.
Why do they paint it this color though? You always know an Island Packet because of the paint job.
Well, they've switched now. The new ones are white.
What?
Yeah, we saw one at the St. Petersburg Boat Show last year, and I was like, that really looks like an Island Packet, but it's the wrong color. And the guy's like, no, we're Island Packet. He had the flag and everything. I was like, well, he's got the flag. It's got to be legit. Bonjour.
Man, I had no idea. How did that one slip past me?
I don't know.
I had no idea. I feel like I'm not a boating influencer now that I don't know that, and you did.
Well,
Ew.
Does that make me a boating influencer?
Shut up. How dare you?
Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of boating influencer, you've also been chatting with, you've just gotten so popular lately.
It's very small circle. I talked to you. Who else?
You talked to me. Well, you talked to all kinds of people.
Yeah.
But I am really excited because we're about to go talk to a whole bunch of people at the Annapolis boat shows. I mean,
not wait. Oh my gosh.
This is our home turf essentially, and it's a boat show, and we never shut up about boat shows.
Oh my gosh. We tried to get the one last weekend, but multiple factors got in the way. But I was thinking this morning.
They call me Captain Mudbutt. I was not going to make it to that show. It was a bad one.
It was possible I was Captain COVID, but I was not. But this morning I got out walking I'm still in flip-flops because I'm rocking that as long as possible. But it's boat show time when the toes get chilly. So I'm thinking it's right around the corner. I cannot wait. It's like our Super Bowl.
I'm so excited. I'm really excited because last year I did miss one of my favorite parts of the show is the cannon fire opening of the show.
Yeah, I
really always get very excited because I feel like it's so zingy. Everyone's been frantically moving boats and locking them in and hoisting flags and setting up plants. The plant setup thing is probably the most stressful part for brokers. They have to make these boats look extra glamorous, so they have like hibiscus plants and
Majesty palms.
Majesty palms.
My fave.
It is really gorgeous. Yeah. I do really enjoy how much effort goes into those red carpets, and it's just beautiful, and it really makes it so festive. It's so festive. That's the word for it.
We all feel yachty during a boat show. Everybody.
It's just so good. And so yeah, it kicks off with that cannon firing, and I cannot wait for it. I'm super excited, but there's so many parties. There's so many. Oh man, there's so many people to talk to.
Yeah.
I really love boat shows though, because I like cornering experts and asking them all of my questions.
Yeah. Nice.
That's probably my favorite part of the boat show. I'm never boat shopping. I'm always boat noodling. I don't know what the word is.
I kind of do the same thing. I'm always wondering, okay, so I have a 1976 Pearson 365 catch. That's a lot. But it's an old boat, and it looks nothing like new boats, and at all. But what I'm always trying to do in the back of my empty mind is to figure out what can I take from the new boat and kind of transfer it to my boat. Like, is there some sort of little decorative detail or little thing in the, cabin layout or the V berth or whatever? Like, how can I bring some of that?
That actually makes a lot of sense to me. I recently saw the most beautiful fender storage setup, and I was like, this can be implemented on this boat. It was such a great rack where you open the hat.
A lot of people love a great rack.
Bravo. Bravo. Cheers to you. Now that I've been totally derailed.
Did the brewer with the beer just say that? No. It's my Evo twin clone.
Anyway, what was I? Now I'm distracted.
We're talking about a dinghy rack.
No, we're not talking about a dinghy rack. We're talking about a fender rack.
Fender rack.
Fender rack.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And I just really liked it, and I thought, oh my God, why isn't this on every boat? It just happens to be on one particular manufacturer.
Powerboat?
It was a powerboat,
yeah.
But I thought it could fit in something like this. But I don't know. Maybe the fenders have to be a little bigger on a boat like this. I'm not.
Well, I've had customers with sailboats, new to sailboating, as the expert sailboaters will soon hear. So the new to sailboating owners decided they liked the idea that all these powerboats have the fender racks up forward, like the little holsters, but that gets in the way of all the sails. Just the main, Genoa and foresail and all that sort of thing. So they learned quickly after one tack that this was a horrible idea. Let's get those things off the boat. But yeah, I always wonder that too, because sailboats have big lazarettes or storage lockers back in the cockpit usually, and it's always the thing you want is at the bottom. Every single time.
Every single time. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what order you put it in.
No, and it's Murphy's Law.
I swear, the last thing I put in is the shore power cord. And yet, somehow.
We do a full inventory at every dockage. But you've got some pretty cool fenders. I saw those.
Oh my gosh.
That was on our
God, those pop fenders.
Air show thing episode.
No, I love my pop fenders.
Those are pretty cool.
They're so perfect for my teeny tiny little bayliner because it's a teeny tiny boat with a bow rider. It's basically the cheapest way to put smiles on your face on the water.
That's a fun boat.
Love it.
That's a fun boat. We had was it 5 of us had a blast on that boat that day.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did an episode on board. That was wild.
We saw airplanes. We saw pontoon boats racing airplanes. It was like a mind-blowing experience.
It was totally rad. It actually was a little mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's cool about it though is these pop fenders. I found them because I'm a boat nerd and a half. And I'm always looking at whatever the newest weird thing is going on at boat shows all over the world. And they were displaying them at a boat show in Europe. And I was insanely jealous the minute I saw them. And I just started harassing this poor German company.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I was just bothering them on every social media platform until they finally were like, okay, listen.
Das Boomies keeps typing to us. We must send her fenders pronto.
So they finally
Achtung.
sent me some. I felt really bad for them because they had to like pay weird taxes for it and do all kinds of stuff to get them to me.
When you sell those, do you have to disclose VAT tax not paid?
Suppose. I don't really know.
You've got 2 years to do it.
I don't speak German. But the coolest part about it is they collapse.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, well, don't they scratch the paint? Don't they do this? I'm like, no, they're really made out of this weirdly...
Yeah, it was kind of like a weird material. It's like a little bit of everything in there.
It's almost like that terrible velvet that you see on...
oh, yeah.
You know, like some plastic toys when they're trying to make them soft, kind of have that velvety feel to them.
Yeah.
And then, but they're rigid enough to hold their shape, but they still compress just enough, like a fender should, to give you that bounce back when you absolutely need it.
You really want it to bounce.
Please bounce. And then they smush down, and they're a third of their size, and they fit really well.
Yeah.
on my itty-bitty boat.
It was like the switchblade fenders. You were just like, pow!
Wow. So I've been trying to help these guys out because they were so nice and sent me those fenders. But I don't know how to get them into West Marine. It's a complicated monster trying to figure out how to get those to somebody who can buy them in bulk
And really market, yeah.
and bring them to the U.S. market because I think they're great.
You would think they would do a boat show or two. I'm trying to get us back into the boat show talk.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I
No,
got us
you're
a little
good.
derailed. That would be cool if they would come to a boat show
That'd be
here.
awesome. Hey, pop-up fender people, come to the Annapolis Boat Show. So boat show, we've got a whole lot going on. Funny Boat Podcast is doing some stuff.
Funny Boat Podcast is just going to be torturing.
Yeah, we'll sleep in December.
We'll sleep in December. We're going to be at the Power Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to the Power Show because there's a bunch of stealth influencers and creators that show up to the Powerboat Show.
Oh, okay.
Whereas at the sales show, they kind of have the booth, right? Where the influencers are supposed to be. We're not there yet.
So you see the power guys, like your stealth influencers, just kind of walking the docks?
They walk the docks. You'll notice them because
Incognito?
they'll have really nice cameras with them.
And you'll be bringing them by my area of the...
I'll work on it.
Notice the eye roll, folks. If you're driving, I got a heavy eye roll on that one. Thank you so much.
Well, what powerboats are you bringing to the show? Because that might make a difference.
That is, well, you know...
It's like next week, by the way. Isn't it?
Almost. 2 weeks.
2
yeah,
weeks, okay.
yeah. Shoo. I was going to say, I'm in charge of doing the schedules. Don't tell me that. We're going to have the same offerings at the show as we had at the spring show. So we have the SR41, which we've been on multiple times, and the Vita 33, which you were on as well.
So fast.
That's like the day. Yeah, we're supposedly taking it out tomorrow or Friday maybe. Tomorrow is supposed to be like perfect weather, light and variable winds, nice flat. We could probably open her up, but
Do you need an influencer?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like there were some things we were working through, and we wanted to make sure everything was tip-top shape. We've been doing some extra input, so.
I'm starting to understand why you're a boat broker, because you get to do all the fun stuff that I get to do with none of the responsibility.
Well,
now that I'm really thinking about it.
There's a lot of me staring at a laptop too.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't have to do that.
That's not so
I don't
glamorous.
have to do that. Never mind, my job's way better.
Yeah.
I take it back.
People, I mean, I could do videos of my work staring at a laptop and not get any views, like when you're shipping a ship that ships ships.
I
and
love my
taking that ship,
shipping ships.
ships. It's a shipload of ships. I tell you. And that's no ship.
It is freaky, those.
Yeah.
So that has ramped up a lot, and clearly it's because the boat show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they've been unloading like crazy this got a bunch of yachts on them, and then they get crane dropped off the side of the ship, and some goober like me has to drive them away. The worst part is switching them over from whatever language the chartplotter was in.
Right. Yeah.
I'm really bad at this. I have to make a video for myself so that I know how to do it every time. Garmin, you have no documentation on the internet for this. I've looked every time I get on one of these boats, and I never see it. Somebody yell at Garmin for me, because I'm not big enough. Make this podcast big enough so that when I yell at Garmin, they listen to me, and they'll make the video that I need so that when I get on these boats, I can actually change it from Italian back to English.
All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and scratch Garmin off the sponsorship list. Sorry, folks, if you were hoping for that one, kiss that one goodbye.
I don't know who we could possibly be sponsored by other than alcohol.
We've got a good one. We've got a good one right now. Who is today's sponsor? Do we have a sponsor today?
No, we don't have a sponsor.
Oh,
oh shoot. Was I supposed to have a sponsor today?
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
panicking now. No, it didn't get finalized.
Oh, okay.
So maybe next time.
Maybe. Stay tuned. Well, hey, folks, that's the cliffhanger. You got to come back for more of that one. Who could they? It's like the Batman episode. Adam West.
Batman episode.
Who will our Cape Crusaders be sponsored by in the next episode? It's anybody's guess.
Anyway. If you have any good ideas for things we should be doing at the boat show while we're there, drop them in the comments.
Send them to Boomies.
Either funnyboatpodcast.com or what's the other one? Or our YouTube channel. By the way, there is a video for this. You could actually see the really pretty boat sitting on.
You could see me squint.
Oh, so squinty. We've got golden hour going on right now.
Yeah.
We look absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to it. Subscribe to us on all the podcast things, and share this with a couple of friends so that I can yell at Garmin in the future. That's really all I want in this life. That's why I'm doing all of these things, so that so that when I yell at pop fenders, they will actually pay attention to me. I got big enough that they talked to me when I harassed them for the 90th time.
I'm just happy you're yelling at somebody else. I mean, personally.
That's what captains do. All right, this has been the Funny Boat Podcast. Bon voyage.
Hey, y'all. That was fun. Good times.